Good morning. Sunday, July 6th, and I'm doing my long run on a Sunday. Who am I? I don't even know anymore. We're less than 2 weeks out from the High Lonesome 100, and yeah, the nerves are starting to set in. So today I'm testing out some new gear, believe it or not, as well as just some nutrition, which I'll kind of talk to you guys about on today's run, as well as just mindset and some things I've been dealing with up here. All that to be said, I'm kind of putting my kit together, starting much later than I would really like to for a long run. I'm here at Brainerd Lake, and I'm going to be just doing like an out and back. I'm gonna take you guys along for that. But before we get into today's run, since we are going into the Alpine, got my Sun Chaser hoodie on, Trailbreaker trucker hat from John G. And I'm also wearing their 4-inch trail shorts, which have just really, really nice pockets. I'm testing them out to see if I want to wear these on race day, their pace shorts, or their multi-short. I don't know. TBD. If you're interested in checking out any of the apparel I am wearing today, click the link down in the description. You can use my code Mountain High Life for 10% off your order. Thank you so much to John G for partnering with me, believing in the channel, and making phenomenal running apparel. Okay, here we go. We're throwing the vest on, which this is a new to me vest, which I'll explain why I'm wearing a new vest so close to race day, why I have a new vest so close to race day. Got the Morton 320 in this bottle, and then just some good old water in this one, and we're gonna shove all of our nutrition. So I have Science and Sport Beta Fuel. I'd be nothing without the Science and Sport Beta Fuel. And I have a Morton 160 solid, 2 Precision Chew 60-gram carb bars, the 30-gram carb, just regular old shoes. Okay, we got our 2 bandanas. And I think that should be good. Hi, editing me popping in really quick. I did just want to say before we got into today's video that a lot of this video I share just kind of some things going on with my mindset. I was really hesitant about even like sharing the video just because it's not super glamorous and I ramble a little bit, but I also think it's really important to like talk about these things and be open and honest, just because I feel like a lot of other people struggle with, you know, taper tantrums and all of that. So I think being more honest and open about it, just, I don't know. I want to keep it real, like always, and sometimes keeping it real means like not being super awesome all the time. So yeah, a lot of talking in this video. If that's not your jam, feel free to skip this video, but thanks for watching. Okay, here we are. Let's get this long run done. Just about 7 miles in, and so I don't know how long today's run is going to be, but I thought I would just mention why I have a new vest, to keep it short and sweet. I had been running in the Solomon Advanced Skin 12 for about 1.5 years. And this past February, I ran a 55K, and during that 55K, I experienced, for the first time ever, chafing on my ribs, on the right side in particular. I was like, okay, that's weird, but I thought it was just a one-off situation. I did a whole bunch of training in the vest after that, and I didn't really have any issues. So I was like, okay, yeah, just a one-off. Well, I ended up buying another vest, the Ultimate Direction Adventure vest. And the reason I decided to buy vest number 2 is because I was really drawn to, it had a built-in rain fly. It was made with waterproof or water-resistant material. It had a reservoir capability, lots of pockets, and 16.5 liter storage capacity, which is about 4.5 extra liters from the Salomon Advanced Skin. And that was really appealing to me for big mountain adventures when I'm self-sufficient, carrying everything on me. I just really liked the idea of having 4.5 more liters of storage versus packing as much as one could possibly fit into the Salomon Advanced Skin, to the point of where it's like almost bulging and it doesn't sit flush with your back. It like presses into your back. I just was over it. So I introduced the Adventure vest into my lineup and I really liked it. I thought it was really great. However, because a lot of the pockets are zippy or have zippers, and the reservoir situation, a lot of times to access a lot of those pockets, it requires you fully remove the vest. Secondary to that, one of the pockets, unlike this vest, the left pocket is what they call like their burrito pocket. It's essentially like a phone pocket, or you could put a burrito in it. You can also put a bottle in it, but the issue I was running into is because so many of the pockets, little storage areas are zippered, I didn't have anywhere to put my phone, which, I mean, thankfully John G makes incredible shorts where you can tuck your phone into the actual shorts and it's hardly noticeable, but I have the iPhone 16 Pro Max and sometimes it just feels so heavy in those pockets. I'm thinking about doing that for, 30 hours. I'm like, I don't know. I just don't really want to do that. With the Adventure vest, the other issue is the fact that it doesn't have like a good pull setup. There's nowhere for you to attach a quiver, and you have to use the bungees, and I just couldn't. I mean, I could strap them in and it was easy for me to get the poles out, but to put them away really easy and conveniently, it just like didn't exist. Trying to like bungee the poles back in or put the poles back into the bungees while I'm moving just seemed like a challenge. And, I'm trying to keep things as simple as possible. My thought was, for the Great Divide 100K, I'll try the Salomon vest. That way I could have the bottles, see what we thought. And when I wore that vest for the Great Divide 100K, the chafing was worse than ever. I mean, by the end of the race, I had to keep adjusting the vest off of that spot because it literally felt bruised. So I was like, shoot. The Salomon vest isn't going to work. I don't know, something about the Adventure vest and not having the quiver situation, it just was complicated. So I waited. Ultimate Direction had a 4th of July sale and I decided to get the Ultra vest. So that's what I am wearing. This is what I have invested in, and honestly trying it out today. I love it. It's super comfortable. I think it's more comfortable than the Salomon vest. It has a nice zipper pocket that you can access from any direction on the back. Also has a quiver capability, which I really, really appreciate because I don't use my poles always, so it's nice to just in and out, take them, collapse them, put them away, take them out when I need them. Also, it has really nice like stuff pockets, so I can access like all the way around, just like you would with the Salomon vest. It's just really nice. And I didn't know how I'd feel about the white, but I'm really enjoying the white. I think it's very comfortable, like I said, and I like the bottles, all of it. So, and it holds more than I thought. And it does it a bit more comfortably, in my opinion, than the Salomon vest. So I'm really, really impressed with this guy. I'm really stoked about it, and I really wanted to take it out, use it, figure out what I'm going to do with each pocket before race day. Never test anything on race day, so I'm going to be wearing it over the next 2 weeks, or I guess week and a half, getting really familiar with it and just trying to figure out where to put things. But that's one really positive thing, is I found a vest that I think is going to work just as well for this race. And honestly, all my ultras in the future until it doesn't want to work anymore. So, but I'm just going to kind of go today until my body says no more. I'm honestly feeling pretty tired. I've felt really tired all weekend. I had a really great week last week. I'll link my week of training video that I completed last week here on the screen and down in the description if you care to check it out. But it's just, I don't think I got a really good night of sleep this week. And I think the other kind of tough thing about this is the fact that I feel like I could have done a little bit more training this week, and if I was going to do any more training, it would have been this week, because this upcoming week I'm starting to taper, and I feel like, it's just so interesting how a runner's brain can work, because last week on Sunday, I was finishing up my weekend, wrapping up my weekend, being like, I feel so ready, I feel so good, and then like, oh, here I am a week later being like, I don't know if I'm ready. It's just very interesting. It's very interesting. I want to talk a little bit more about it later. Just, being transparent, talking about my mindset, all of that. So let's go ahead and keep moving, and yeah, we'll just kind of see what we've got for the rest of the morning. It's warm, I'll tell you what though. All right, here I am, 8 miles in, and we're turning around. I'm cutting it short, calling it, and I thought it'd be a good chance to talk about why and just some other things. So last week I had the highest volume week of training I've ever had in my life. I ran about 80 miles, 18,000 feet of elevation gain, solid. And I walked away from that week feeling both mentally and physically, really good. My hope was, this week being at that 2 to 3 week out mark from the race, I might be able to get, some decent mileage in, decent vert, and originally the plan was that I was going to go to Aspen, Snowmass, and do some running with my good friend Mackenzie and our friend Miranda, some other folks. What happened was that given the holiday, July 4th weekend, I had Friday off and I was going to leave on Friday to go down. However, I ended up just feeling really tired and like I just wanted to be home. And a part of that, I think, was the fact that since Memorial Day weekend, I have only had one weekend at home where I haven't been traveling. Pretty much every weekend I've been running 30 to 60 miles on the weekend, driving myself alone for anywhere from 7 to 10 hours per weekend. And I think physically it started to catch up with me, but also emotionally. Not being able to see my fiance, not being able to see the puppy, and just not being home. Like, as much as I love to get out and travel and run and explore different areas, like doing that for nearly, I don't even know, 7 weeks straight, it's exhausting. Hold on. All right, we'll just sit down and talk. It can be exhausting, and that's not to say that I don't recognize the privilege I have living in such a beautiful area and being able to have access to all these trails, all this incredible scenery to run in, this wilderness. I feel so incredibly fortunate, and that's why I do so much travel, is to honestly take advantage of this incredible landscape I live in. Yeah, once I realized how tired I was like, I don't think I can go this weekend. That was all well and good, but I think it started to get to me yesterday. I started to get in my head where I was like, well, this was kind of my last opportunity for a week, to do some training this week before I start taper. And now I don't have these long runs planned on the weekend. What am I going to do? I have to make up for it. And just really letting my mind get out of control. Just thinking that pretty much the last 7 months of training have meant nothing. And by me having a down week this week, or having a soft launch to my taper, if you will, I'm going to lose fitness, which is absurd. I guess my point is, I've been having a lot of anxiety this weekend, even just thinking about oh God, I have to get all my drop bags together. I have to put my crew manual together. What am I going to wear? And just trying to figure out logistically all these things and getting kind of oh my God, I have so much to do. And just realizing how close I am to race day. I think it's normal to feel a little anxious and a little panicked. I guess that is okay, a little bit of nerves, all good, but the self-doubt and the second guessing And even for me, drawing comparisons to the week I had last week, and I say it all the time on the channel, which is like, feel free to draw inspiration, but don't draw comparisons. And here I am doing that. It's human, but it's also not helpful to do that. So, but also, I think I really needed to come out today. First off, Brainerd Lake is just stunning, beautiful. I can't believe this is like an hour and 40 minutes from my house. I think I needed to come out and struggle, like mentally struggle, and also like feel the fatigue and understand you need to take it easy. It's okay to take it easy leading up to the race. Realistically, within the next 2 weeks, 12 days leading up to race day, I'm not going to gain really much to any fitness than the base I've already laid. Number one, and number two, in contrast to that, there is far more chance of me getting sick, getting injured, having something go wrong than there is like any benefit to trying to get extrovert or extra mileage just to like hit that quota. I think today I needed to feel that physically, mentally, emotionally. Like, I'm tired, and the rational part of me knows like, hey, we should take it easy. And to quiet that like runner brain that's irrational, that cares about data and hitting some arbitrary number just to like prove to who that I can, I don't know, do whatever. And I did want to be honest, like I did feel good walking away from last week, but didn't sleep good this week. And I feel like because of that, it kind of hindered my recovery. And I feel like I also didn't really eat well this week. I didn't eat super like nutritionally dense food during the week, which I think also played into my recovery. And I'd rather it happen 3 weeks out than 2 weeks out or race week, where it's like now, okay, I can take all of that, put it in my pocket. Now we're going to focus on putting our drop bags together and getting everything prepped for the race, eating a lot better, prioritizing sleep. If we're going to go run, make sure it's a good quality run, and just really trying to enjoy myself. Like, if I feel tired, ease off. And I think one of the things that helps me with my mindset is like when that cruel voice starts getting really loud in my head, I just like to think like if I heard my friend talking to themselves that way or saying that about their training, I would be so upset. Like, I would be very sad to hear them say that. And I think I need to like hold myself to that standard. Like, makes me upset that like I'm not, just because I had like a bad week, suddenly not ready for this race. It's silly. It truly is silly. So I don't know. It's okay to have those feelings. But just remember, like, you've done the work, you've done the time. It's okay to take a little bit of a rest and be easy on yourself. I think because I've gone so hard for the last 7 weeks, it's like, take it easy. What does that even mean? Editing me, popping in one more time. So I did just want to say that in the past, I've been very intuitive with my training, and I feel that I have done a really good job of always listening to my body. And when I do feel really tired, I'm really good about taking it easy and resting. But after I filmed this video and made it through this effort, I actually looked on Strava, and it has been since the end of March. I've only had like 3 weeks that I've run less than 60 miles during a week. So it's about time I took it easy. And I think another component of why I was struggling mentally so much, like taking it easy, is the fact that I've just been like really committed to my training and just like pushing myself when I'm tired, pushing myself, pushing my boundaries, and moving when I'm tired and uncomfortable. And like I've just been in such a training mindset that to like kind of tap out of training mindset and into taper mindset has been a bit of a struggle. I think that's part of it, kind of transitioning from, oh, we're not training anymore. Now we get to like really feel what it's like to chill and take it easy and focus on things that aren't training. It's like a perspective shift. And I think the same thing kind of happens after the race, where you kind of feel a bit frazzled and perhaps a bit depressed because this thing that you were training for and working for and thinking about every day for months on end is now over, and it's kind of like, what do I do now? It's a kind of this whole crazy mindset thing. So I do think it's really important to talk about. I'm so sorry I rambled a little bit, but I do think, I really just wanted to share what was going on in my brain. I think it's really important to talk about these things because I think a lot of people don't, and it really does help to actually vocalize this to other people. So I think there's something that holds you accountable about like speaking these thoughts to somebody else. Because for me, talking to my friend Mackenzie, talking to my fiance about it, I realized how ridiculous I sounded and how ridiculous some of these thoughts were as they were exiting my mouth. So I don't know, just some perspective. This is just from me, your average runner off the street. So yeah, you're awesome. Your training is awesome. Don't doubt yourself. And I know for me, I'm sure there's people out there that doubt I can do this or don't believe in me. And the last person that is not going to believe in me is myself. So, okay, that's it. I'm really glad that I've come to this realization. I'm not pushing too hard today, and I'm choosing to be kind to myself because, like, there's no sense in getting upset. So I really wanted to talk about that because we need to normalize not always having a good time. Things get tough. They really do. So let's get back down and let's go enjoy some music for Ramble. My bottles. I threw some Tailwind into this one, which I've started to pre-package my own like 2 scoop servings into little baggies. You can buy single servings, but it's just much cheaper to buy like a 20 or 30 serving bag and bag them up yourself. I actually got a little handheld, which look at how this vest is doing for me. 2 bottles. I really do love these pockets, and if I'm being honest, I am just loving this vest. It's not going to chafe on my ribs. It doesn't even touch like where it was irritating me with my other vest. Secondary to that, I really like the white. I think it looks kind of cool. But I did try the Morton 320 drink mix today. It's not my favorite tasting drink mix. It's like sugar water is like what it tastes like to me. But I have been just drinking it pretty much for the last 2 weekends just to get used to it, because that is going to be the drink mix they have at the aid stations for High Lonesome. Like I said, I did fill up an extra handheld. It's probably going to get hotter as I get lower in altitude, so I just wanted extra fluids. Still feeling tired and fatigued, but I'm glad I made the decision I did. We're going to keep it safe, steady, not spicy today, just steady. So away we go. Doesn't even look real. Looks like a mirage. It's so beautiful. Lake Isabel. It's one of my favorite places in Colorado. So we have maybe 3.5 miles left. Made it back to the brief section of road I'm running on. We'll be on some trail again. Still happy with my decision to cut it short, but I feel good. I feel better than I did on the mountain. So that's hopeful. But yeah, just gonna cruise on back. We'll be out of the sun here soon enough. Back on trail. I did forget to mention I had a caffeinated gel, so I'm sure that didn't hurt the vibes, The run is done. 16 miles, about 2,900 feet of elevation gain. Was it the run I had hoped for? Not quite, but I think it was truly the run I needed. I think I needed to just kind of have a come to moment to understand that, one, my body is telling me to perhaps take it a little easy. I am physically and I suppose mentally ready to start this taper, the hard launch officially. And, you know, I think what I said earlier on when I was on the mountain is so true, that I have spent 7 months preparing for this race with by far the best training I have ever put in for any race in my entire life. I've had some of the best weeks of training in my entire life. I ran a freaking 100K a month ago, not even. But point to that is there is no need to discredit the work I've done over the last few months. And I think in the past, I've been very receptive and intuitive when my body's saying, you know, help, I need sleep. And for some reason, I think I've just been go, go, go for so many weeks that taking it easy and feeling like I could have just perhaps squeezed just a little bit more out of myself this final week of training, or like final week before the official taper began. I just don't need to put that pressure on myself. I really don't need to. I think I just needed to kind of realize that. And this run definitely helped me do that I am physically very ready to start this taper. Clearly, I'm tired and I'm needing sleep and just not feeling like 1,000% or 100% on my runs. And I really want to feel that way for race day. Like I said 100 times now, I've spent the last 7 months working towards this day, and I will not discredit myself on all the hard work I've done. Mentally, I won't do it. So it's time to redirect my focus off of training and putting in miles and numbers. You know, we're still going to be running, but it's just going to be more about it's going to be more about quality over quantity. And secondary to that, it's time to focus in on getting the logistics of race day ready to go. Now it's the fun part. Now we get to and plan all the fine details right out of my crew manual. I've already started, but like fine tuning that, getting my drop bags ready to go. And figuring out what John G shorts I'm going to wear for this race, because I still haven't quite figured that out yet. So lots to piece together, but I'm feeling good. And I just want to say it's normal to have some anxiety when you start your taper, and we've put in the time. So now it's just time to kind of rest up, feel good for race day, and focus in on that. So secondary to that, you know, I ended up feeling pretty good on this run. I think I fueled really well, which is great. Morton drinks, they're like, I would give them like a C+. Not my favorite. Tailwind is by far much better. But the vest, I'm so glad I invested. I'm so glad I got that vest, because it's going to make such a difference on race day. I'm feeling very comfortable with it and confident. Still just need to tweak where I'm going to be putting certain things, gels, choose how I want to like have the vest on race day. So I'm probably honestly going to wear it even on shorter road runs, just to like frig around with it while I'm running, just to like really lock it down, get it ready to go. So we are dialed in on the vest for race day. So stoked on that. But I just made a sandwich, a little sandwich for the road home. Got like a 2-hour drive home. If you made it to this point in the video, I just have to say thank you so much for watching. I really want to redirect the focus for a second onto you. If you feel going into your taper, you know, maybe you didn't do enough, or you're nervous, or you're second guessing if you're capable of these things, I just want to reassure you that if you've been consistent, you've followed your plan, just trust. You're going to be just fine. Believe in yourself, believe in your training, believe in the hard work that you have put in. Nobody can take that away from you. And, you know, as the saying goes, run your own race. Stick to your plan. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing, including what I'm doing. Worry about what you're doing, focusing on you. Worry about your body. Take peace in that. And I'm telling myself that as I'm speaking to the camera. Thank you so much for watching. Leave it in the comments down below if you have struggled with this yourself. I feel like it's way more common than anybody wants to talk about, but it's not glamorous, it's not fun, but it's normal, and we should normalize it, okay? Thank you again to John G for partnering with me. Again, click the link in the description. Use my code MountainHighLife for 10% off your order. And finally, I hope you have a great day. Hope you get out on some trail today, and I will see you here in my next adventure.